a comfortable couch, Trey.
So the scrotum.
It's pretty soft. Oh,
Yeah, we were talking about the scrotum off camera, but that'll be for another topic, I think, or another time.
Definitely.
So, welcome to Name to be Determined.
roasting buns, maybe?
I mean, I would love to keep roasting buns.
I don't care. I like it all.
He doesn't care.
Because then the logo is like butt cheeks on a stick,
Yeah.
like over a campfire.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, okay, running name.
And this looks like a bun right here.
A little bit.
Okay, so it's just going to be Trey and I for the podcast. Running name will be Roasting Buns, I think. And I think this is the first trial run episode, so it's really just going to be kind of a little bit of an introduction of ourselves, possibly. Maybe a thing that we're really passionate about, or a thing that we hate, depending on if you want to be negative or positive.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of get into it, and we'll just kind of talk.
Yep.
So I guess.
I've got to not have my phone in my pocket because I click the pop
Yep.
socket and
No keys
he caught
either,
himself. Yeah, no keys. You're doing good. Where's my beard brush? That's okay. So I guess we'd go from left to right, which would be their right to left, correct?
right? Sure. Trey's the right
So,
left guy.
Trey,
what else should I say? Just what I'm interested in?
who you
or-
are first, I think.
Oh. I don't know who I am. Well, my name is Trey Murphy. I am 28 years old. Don't look me up on Facebook.
Don't.
There's a lot of Trey Murphys.
How many?
At least 16.
There's a lot of Brandon Brigette's too. I haven't looked them up in a while, but I
There's
did.
probably a lot of Lukes, too.
I don't want to.
There's a lot of Luke's, not a lot
I
of
got a
Spencers.
story immediately after we're done introducing. I have a story about the Brandon Brigette, so don't let me forget.
Copy that.
Copy that. I play
Interesting.
video games. I'm a musician. Son and Thieves.
There
Check
we
it
go.
out. Metal band.
There we go.
I guess that's it. I'm married.
All right, next.
Ruined.
Anyway.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
out of it.
Anyway, I am Brandon Brigette, as you may or may not have surmised. I work in construction for a really cool company called Kingdom Innovations, owned by Dan Eccles. If you're in the Pickaway County area, give him a shout out, okay? He will do good work. And, yeah, something I'm passionate about right now. I'll always be passionate about film stuff, cameras and all that. But my passions kind of extend throughout. Lots of passions. One of them is cameras. Anyway, so.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm Spencer Luke. I'm a maintenance and metrology supervisor for a pharmaceutical company. That's my day job. Super into like small business and finance stuff. Also really like cameras, kind of a new thing for me. Not to steal the thunder. Thunder's
It's okay.
stolen.
You punch me in the face too if you want.
Yep.
I mean,
Not the face. Yeah, no, that's me. I'm it. That's it.
Nice.
phenomenal. Really
Yeah,
good job.
I mean, I do what I can, so
yeah,
it's hard to be the
awesome.
star of the show without saying you're the star of the show.
I know.
So
We were hoping to kind of keep it quiet on that, but
yeah, I got
I
you.
guess they know now.
So I guess is there anything that you guys would specifically be interested in talking about? Because we could like pick a category and research up on it and all come together and talk about it, or we can just do off the cuff.
I think it'll be both because
That's fine.
I find it interesting when I listen to a podcast where they're talking about something that they know about or that they like or that they researched. But I also just like listening to them tell stories or talk about something stupid.
I do like telling stories.
Yeah.
We could do a little tiny segment of each episode of what happened crazy this week at work or this
Right.
month or whatever.
And me being in my position of living in the van, I am
yes.
experiencing things quite often.
That's true.
And it's grown a lot. Like, it's so weird, the things that I see, and being a person who likes to observe.
Little van life story day.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly just telling the stories, things that happen in my life. And I did want to tell a story about the Brandon Brigette thing.
Go for it.
This happened a few years ago, so my memory is not going to work that great on what I said.
Total lies.
Huh? Oh.
Total lies.
Versus what I said and what they said. But one day I get a Facebook message, and it's part of a Facebook group. And it's a message of this guy named Brandon Burgett that says, hey, something along the lines of, I'm Brandon Burgett too. And it was a group of Brandon Burgetts that this guy created and messaged me. I think I said something off the cuff to it. Like, I think I had said, I remember, okay. I was like, well, now we have to all fight to the death, and whoever wins is the true Brandon Burgett.
It's almost like a number neighbor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I think
really.
I remember that.
Yeah. I don't remember that. I wish I had the messages still. I'm pretty sure I deleted it because it was just like fun for the moment, but kind of weird.
I really want to know all these other Brandon Burgetts.
What was also weird was the guy looked a little bit like me. Not like a spitting image, but like there were definitely similarities.
But like he could be your distant cousin.
Yeah, like he could be like, these guys could be related.
Huh.
Yeah.
So that's my Brandon Burgett story. I've got a lot more stories, but I don't want to be the only one talking. So we can shift gears to possibly, I don't know what.
Yeah. So what's you're a musician. I heard you maybe have a new song coming out.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have it out by next year. I still owe some payments on it, so I gotta do that first. But I have half of the song done vocally. I just gotta go back and patch it up some, and then the other half shouldn't take that long. 'Cause half of the other half is the chorus, which the chorus is already done, and then screams you just kind of have to time it with the guitars or the drums or whatever. People think screams are hard to write, but as long as it's in time with the music, it'll sound good.
If you like it.
Unless you're like,
If you're into the screams, you like it. If you're like Dan, my boss, he hates metal music, and it's so funny, and I love it. Because I showed him the cover of I think it was Betraying the Martyr. They did the Let It Go.
oh yeah,
I showed him that, and there was true, like, disdain in his eyes. Like, he was like, I hate this. And I was like,
Why are we doing this?
like, this is great. So it's funny that you can be on this side and this side.
right.
I'm someone who's in the middle on a lot of like musically things. If it sounds like it like that there was effort put into it, I'll find something about it I like.
Yeah.
If it sounds like it's just thrown together and talking about all the cliche garbage,
Nah.
I'm good.
It's like on TikTok right now. I see there's all those lives where people are like letting TikTok viewers send in their song that they wrote or whatever, and it's literally just what we do as a joke, where we just sing over some beat on YouTube,
Oh,
and they release it as like a legitimate song. And on like SoundCloud, some of them have like millions of plays and stuff. I'm like, dude,
Dang.
is it that easy?
It's not fair.
I guess it's just circumstance, probability. I don't know. I do believe though, if you put effort into something, eventually it will get recognized. Well, maybe not at first.
Yeah. And it's like YouTube creators, it takes years before they're ever anywhere getting
Right.
traction, real traction.
You have to continue it too.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
That's
gotta
the
be
hardest part.
consistency.
Because the discourage, where you're making something and you're trying and doing it over and over again and barely seeing any growth or whatever, the discourage is what makes you stop. The people who, unless they got like lucky, which I don't believe in luck, so let's say they got fortunate or the probability was in their favor that the algorithm chose them, there are a few who just kind of came up to it or with it. But normally they don't stay. It's the people who continued to try and continued to produce even though they were discouraged,
Right.
that eventually when they get the popularity or get the flow, they continue doing it because they had the...
Yeah, I mean, it's like someone, making a YouTube channel about fishing and outdoors for their 3 friends, and it's only for those 3 friends for a long time.
What was that channel again?
Oh, I saw it the other day. I think it was called like Spencer Prepper or something. It was,
Oh, that
it was
one.
okay. It was kind of a B tier, but
Yeah, I reported that one.
yeah,
It's
that's not
better
the
than
first.
some.
I think
Better
it's
than
fun,
most.
and I want to make more, and I'm putting aside time tomorrow for sure. I think all I'll do tomorrow is buy materials. I'm building a desk.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'll just buy materials and the heater. And then we can make some kind of outdoorsy content.
I like it.
So, and hopefully camp somewhat soon.
Yeah.
You're just gonna like brain fart.
I smell it.
Like capture making the desk? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was going to build my desk Saturday, tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then Spencer was like, because I texted you and... Okay, let's backtrack completely. Okay, just a little bit of the backstory. I was carpooling with Dan to a new client. We were going to go meet them, and he's like, you can ride with me. So I needed a book bag to get good clothes and then work clothes and all that stuff. The book bag I was going to use happened to be my fishing book bag that had all of my soft plastics in it. So as I'm taking those out, I'm like it was just flowing over me, the urge to fish. I was like, oh my goodness, I want to fish so bad right now.
Yeah.
So then I texted Spencer. I said, I really want to fish. And then he mentions he was thinking of doing some YouTube stuff this weekend. So I think I'll just buy the materials and either build the desk Sunday or next weekend or something. You know what I mean? The urge to fish or do something else is stronger right now than building a desk.
Yes.
And haven't really put anything on the YouTube in a while. So
No, with moving and having a puppy and a wife, and
yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to get things done.
but we can get back in the groove, I think.
Yeah, just got to carve out that time.
It's a good thing about who knows what's gonna happen soon, but a lot of the OT at work and stuff is dropping off now too, so I'll have a lot more time to help you
Yeah.
guys.
Right. Well, I guess I wanted to tell this story what happened this morning.
Go for it.
It's not like a big story or anything. It was just funny.
I got something after you, so go ahead.
Well, I've been talking a lot, so how about you go first?
Okay. So I don't know why.
Anyway, my story. Sorry, I had to do it.
It's okay. No, we'll cut that out.
Leave it in.
Like this
editing
whole section.
Editing Oh, yeah. It's
Power of the editor.
it's
Right.
just like right here.
The star of the show is the editor. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
So I'm
no.
editing this, right? I'm just kidding. Sorry. Okay. Come on, Mike.
I quit. So, yeah. No. I like to. Okay. So, do you remember a girl that we went to church with a long time ago that lived above me at the apartments? There's only one.
Maybe.
Rhymes with Gidrana.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this individual lived above me at the apartments that I lived in for years, and she had a boyfriend. Boyfriend lived there. They had a kid. They broke up. He's baby daddy, whatever. Well, he died last night on 23 in the middle of the road in a car wreck. He was in the left lane, went down to the median, and where he did that, there happened to be one of those crossovers like that police use and stuff. Well, it was like a big hump. So he hit that, flipped the car, spun it, hit the next one because there's two right in a row. Crazy. Flew him out into the middle of 23 at midnight, and he died.
Holy moly.
That's rough.
Yeah, and not related, but I've seen a lot of work accidents and stuff, and a lot of car accidents. So I was looking up car wreck pictures. Don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy.
I've been there before.
Yep.
Curiosity.
Yeah, sure. And I stumbled my way onto a really messed up Reddit page.
Oh no.
And is it Reddit? Yeah, it was Reddit. A really messed up Reddit page called like medical gore or something. And I'm not going to talk about what I saw, but there was just some like really like scary straight kind of stuff in there.
Just heinous.
Let's
I
just
mean,
say, let's just say, I get to Trey's, and let's just say, we receive these two pictures, and I get it first, and I'm like,
And you described what it was, and I was like, why is someone sending this to him?
and the shock that
Two pictures.
It was a guy's balls that were stabbed through with, I gotta tell you, I don't care. Metal fencing. You can cut it out, whatever.
No.
Is
in there.
a metal fence, and I don't know how this person managed to be in this position that they
Nope.
were in.
No backstory.
They're like draped over the metal fence.
In the first picture, let me interject. It looks like just his pants and maybe his butt cheeks kind of got,
Right.
skewered
like it's
a
just
little
silly,
bit.
like, oh, he's stuck.
Like that might have really hurt, but whatever.
Uh-oh. And then the next one is just his sack impaled. Oh,
Not just maybe the shall we say scrotal skin, like the actual testicle
like
was impaled by this fence.
just straight through,
And
man.
I mean a solid, half inch, 3/4 inch thick, pointy fence piece.
Yeah. Free vasectomy, anyone?
It was these pictures aren't censored either, so what's there is there.
Yep. And then what was there was also in our phones.
Like you'd have to hit that with like force for that to happen.
I mean, his
Or have,
balls
like, a
could be
back
really
pressure of the legs,
his balls
maybe.
could be super supple.
Like he got in a fight or something, and someone pushed him up on it or something. I don't know.
Like
I have a
just-
feeling
he
he
was-
tried to
he
jump
was on it
over it.
just, like
frontwards,
pushed
wasn't
him down, you know.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
I
he
think
probably
he
did.
tried to jump over and he didn't clear it. So like if this is him and this is the fence, he went like
good lord.
I would pass out.
he was hanging there like
I would be throwing up and passing out. Like I'd wake up. Blah!
Usually,
Blah, blah.
usually any kind of stabbing is
Sorry,
really bad for me.
To you or me?
But for some
was
reason,
me.
okay.
phone does that.
I don't know if it was because my brain was just like, "Oh, that's not real," or I was just telling myself it wasn't real. It's like my brain's defense against it. Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Dude,
My little cousin Elijah, they had a screen door at my aunt's house, and I guess they would just like kick that thing open sometimes, and the spring on the bottom of the storm door like broke off and flew up under him and just slit his boss head open. And they put him in the ambulance. He's like crying and stuff. He's like, "Please don't let them cut my big pee-pee off," because it was swollen from the trauma, obviously.
Dude.
Oh
But
man.
those things got some power.
Oh.
yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, sorry, that was a pretty big derailment.
Not-
I just had to get
Not a
that off
fan
my
of
chest.
impaling sacks. To be honest, it
There's-
could be. This could be you discovering that you're into it.
Oh, there's worse, dude. That was not even.
Listen, okay, since we're when I was a teenager.
Talk about the Olympics. Never mind.
Oh no, but
Yeah,
similar vein. Speaking of vein, sack had a lot of veins in it.
Drain the vein.
When I was a teenager, I went like when the internet was a lot less secure. You could find like gore sites,
Oh.
and there were some things that I saw in there like that, like messed me up for a while because you're not supposed to see that.
Yeah.
Right, and you were like early high school, probably.
Yeah, I don't remember how old it was, but
We weren't driving. I remember that. It was like 14.
well, I
15.
didn't drive till I was 18, but
Okay, well.
wasn't allowed to. But yeah, so those sites were there, and there was one. There was these two dudes tied up with their arms behind their back, and it was just them against a wall. And then these two guys run into the scene. One guy has a knife, and the other guy, I think it's just the knife. I don't know. But this dude just starts, and these guys are alive, just starts cutting this guy's head off. And you can see his face where he's just like, as it's cutting it off. And you have to like watch his face as his head is just being like,
Oh my gosh.
Slowly.
just cut off.
Mm.
No, you shouldn't, like, I should never see that as a person in America who's privileged to not have to like
Right.
Worry about
go
that.
through that.
Those are way more. Seeing people go through pain is way more traumatic than like seeing pictures or aftermath.
Right, because that
Yeah.
stuff's still gross.
Right, but it's nothing like watching someone go through that pain.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
evil almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It made me feel obviously afraid,
Yeah.
but it like
It's
I
like
was-
scary.
it presents you with your mortality
Right.
Immediately. You immediately have to, because as humans, we kind of relate our experiences with other things. That's how we feel empathy. We kind of empathize with things. So even though I wasn't empathizing, and I'm having trouble with that word, whatever. I was like being like, oh my gosh, like I'm seeing them die. I die, and then it's just like you're like, and then I was just afraid. It was so freaky. It makes you feel sick, makes you feel shaky.
That's
Yeah.
like Drew saw something like that on Facebook. A Facebook video circled around.
Yeah.
I think it was the cartel, and they were decapitating a woman because she was caught with another man or something. It was like, and Drew didn't know if it was real or not, so he had me watch it, and I was like, I don't know. And then Dad watched it, and Dad was like, yeah, that's real. So we gotta report this right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry you guys had to see that, but yeah. Horrible.
Yeah.
Another one that really gets me is like the police body cam footage of
Yeah.
like shootouts that don't go well.
I
Those
can't watch
like
those.
they'll mess me up.
I can't watch the ones where the cop is getting hurt. I can,
Right.
and I do watch them. Actually, I'm not gonna say I can't. I just don't like it
No, it's
because it's sad.
well like it makes my like adrenaline like I feel like I'm like
Yeah.
this person's helpless in front of me.
Yeah.
I get super tense and I can't do those very well.
I feel that for a lot of stuff though. Like even if people start yelling, I immediately get adrenaline. But I like to fight, so I get excited and I have to leave.
I was watching one in bed one time. It was a cop one, and I think both of the cops got like shot in the video, and me and Maddie fought about it because I got really mad, and she was like asking me about it, and I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't watch those at all.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't want to go any further into that rabbit hole
Yeah, let's go.
because I have a lot of videos I've seen. They get worse than the head cut off one.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll save that for another time.
Trey, did you have any fun experiences today? Not fun.
I did have a story I haven't told yet
Okay.
from this morning. Remember? Do you
Let's shelf the
I'm just
Trey
kidding.
thing.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Trey, fuck you. I just don't want to forget this story.
Dude, man.
It's not even that long. Let's see. Okay. My normal morning was kind of changed a little bit because I had to pick up some paint.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I wake up. Okay, I'm a person. I set an alarm at 3:00 just to wake up and go back to sleep. Because I get excited by the idea that I wake up and I'm like, oh, the alarm. But then I'm like, oh, wait, I can go back to sleep for 3 more hours. So I love that.
Okay.
So that was normal. 3:00. I even have one at 5 if I'm like, maybe I'll wake up at 5. I woke up at 6 today. Pretty normal. But I had to, Dan texted me about 6:50, saying that what the plan was. He had some meetings, so it's just going to be me at the property. And then later on, I find out that I have to go get some paint. So my whole morning like routine was behind schedule. So I was running late. I want to get there by 8. I got there at 8:30, which is fine. It's not like I'm docked or anything. But that's 30 minutes less that I had to get started. So, also, I'm at Sherwin-Williams, which is where I got the paint, and I have a tire that leaks. I have to fill it once or twice a week, which I got all these tires, whatever. They're cheap. It was like under $200 or something like that. I can't remember. So, after Sherwin-Williams, I decided I am going to have to go fill my tire before I drive this 30-minute drive to the work site. And the best place in town where we are to get air is Sheets because it's free.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it. And there's 2 of them.
Nice.
Now, I didn't decide this at first, though. I was going to go to the Speedway, which was really close to me. Driving to Speedway. I haven't had my caffeine or nicotine yet, by the way. Driving to Speedway, and I pull in, and there's someone there just getting out of their car, like to fill up their tire. And I'm like, saying things, not nice things, and I just leave immediately. And then I'm like, all right, I'll go to Sheets. course, I go to Sheets. They have 2. If they didn't have 2, probably would have killed someone today. Because there was a guy there. Funny enough, so there's a guy there. The tire is on the driver's side rear. I drive a long van. He's driving a truck. The way I pulled in to where the air would have been on my right. It wouldn't have been long enough. Well, to turn the van around because of room, I had to go all the way around the building and come back away the other way so that I could have it on my driver's side. So I'm the tick of annoyed Brandon is just getting bigger and higher and higher and higher. And I'm getting annoyed and I'm getting frustrated. So I fill the air. It's cold. My hands are freezing. And I want to go inside because I'm hungry. By the way, do not get their breakfast sandwiches. They're $3 and they're worse than McDonald's.
Whoa.
Oh.
Not the made to order food stuff. Just
Like
like the
the
stuff
ready.
you go in and grab. $3. And it was this big.
Little hockey puck.
Okay? Horrible. Garbage. So that pissed me off too. But before I went in there,
Stale biscuit.
this is the whole purpose of the story. Park the van. I'm like checking my phone to see if Dan texted me at the time. Then I see this older dude come up to me and he's like talking to me. My driver's side window doesn't go down. So I do this because I'm mad. So I'm like this. And then I open the door and I'm listening to him. He's like, "Could you give me a jump?" So I close the door again and I'm like, and I opened the door and I said, "Listen, man, my terminals, it's not going to happen." Dude was pissed. Like, not like, "Oh, okay, I understand," or "I got you, man." No, he was mad. He was like, "Okay," and then he started mumbling. And I went inside and I got in the van and I left. Not the first time I've told someone no about jumping, by the way.
Yeah.
Truthfully, the terminals, while not hard to get to, are behind the battery.
Mm-hmm.
And the wires are kind of loosey. The bolts don't close all the way.
Side post.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to deal with that. And I'm running late. Not the first time I've told someone no. But that's how I am. I'll tell you no. Or you can take it or leave it.
Don't die.
I've done that
Brandon.
before. I've said, nah. Not like that, but it was in the hood. Not the hood, but when I was living in Galloway.
Like the jacket hood.
Yeah.
A rough area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm good. So, yeah, that was my
Nice.
story of that.
I can relate to the frustration meter just climbing.
Right, because you're trying to keep
It's
it under
a-
control. You're trying not to seem like a crazy person.
No, it's a downhill spiral.
But-
once it started,
It's like,
every little thing.
and you can just hear it in your head. And it's just ticking. So,
Nice.
yeah. Anyway, Trey, happy birthday.
Thanks, dude. It was 4 months ago.
Happy middle birthday, almost ish.
3 months
If it's
ago.
almost your birthday, it's almost my birthday. So,
That is true.
It's not mine.
yep,
so,
I know.
Yeah.
You were asking him a question, though.
Yeah. I'll shelf that though.
I'll ask it then. So, you have anything interesting happen recently? Is that what you were gonna ask him?
I was gonna ask him about the interview, but I didn't know if you wanted it like public.
Oh, I mean,
So if you don't, we can just cut that.
we would like to hear about it.
I mean, it went fine. It's obviously it's different than what I do now.
So is this public?
Sure.
Fired.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like texting them right now.
Yeah,
Do
hey,
not hire him.
I honestly haven't had time to like talk about it extensively with Maddie or anything yet,
Oh yeah.
so I don't want to like say it's for sure gonna happen if it's offered or whatever. But I don't know. I've been praying about it like nonstop lately,
Mm-hmm.
just to try to find some ease about it, I guess. I don't know. Almost said it.
SanDisk.
Yeah, SanDisk is.
We can cut it out. It's not live.
It's a up and down thing. So like,
But the ups are never up, are they? It's just down and less down.
Right. Exactly.
It's never like
that's the
good.
thing, because like this past week, all the stuff that makes the job horrible is kind of starting to pan out now, which is really annoying because you're like, okay, this sucks, so I'm gonna try to look for something else. Okay, now this is better. So
But I
I'm
feel
kinda
like, see, that reminds me of a relationship.
yeah,
If you're in a relationship, and now obviously relationships have their ups and downs,
right.
but I feel like if a relationship is that down, and then all of a sudden maybe not, then that's toxic.
You got go and get.
I mean,
So, as an example, your employment is a relationship
right.
because you're there all the freaking time,
Yeah.
especially if you're in management and you're invested, you
Yeah.
know, and you have to be a part of the management square or circle or whatever, so you
Right.
have to be more invested than just someone who's going and working.
And you're spending more time with the people you work with than your wife.
That's true.
So that's kind of a big deal, you know.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like because I wouldn't want, because you and Ryan vouched for me, so I don't want to like throw it back in your faces or something like that. But you have to weigh the pros and cons, and because basically all we've talked about is, hey, I'm gonna interview for it. We haven't been able to talk about it yet because our schedules are so weird. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I'll not say that.
Anyway, as I was saying, I used to work at this place
Addiction is real.
called Forward Air. I'm going to say your name because you're a garbage place to work.
Oh, if he did it.
Anyway, I was a loader. Okay?
You were loaded?
I was a loader.
Okay.
So I loaded the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
They treat their employees terribly. And I was working like a second shift type of work. It was really weird. But they would do this weird schedule thing where you'd work your normal hours, but then on Saturday you'd come at these different hours, and like it was later in the night or something like that. Anyway, I'm the person. I'm working this job, and I'm sitting there on my forklift, and I was just like, I really hate this job. I'm not gonna come back on lunch. Took my lunch break, never came back.
Nice.
Had my boss texted me. Everyone was like, thought something wrong happened. A couple days later, I was like, nah, I quit.
I just quit, guys. I was done.
So that's who I am, and it's not good to be that person, by
Right.
the way.
PSA.
Yeah.
Not
Think
recommended.
about leaving a company a little bit longer
Put your
than
2 weeks in.
yeah, I've
Put
never.
your whole shift in.
But the thing is I started out this way. Whoever it was that we worked for when we were young,
Ron? Worked with Ron?
yeah,
Yeah.
I had just texted you to tell them that I quit.
Yeah. He was pissed.
Like it started then. That was my first real job. Well, not real job. Sorry, that was my first job.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply was my first, like, taxed job.
Right.
Tax fraud. So yeah, even back then, I was like, I literally woke up. I don't know if I gave an excuse, but I remember waking up.
I don't think so. I think you just said I'm not coming.
I woke up and was like, nah, I quit.
What was it? Just
It
We were
was-
doing apartment remodels and
Yeah.
rehab
Yeah.
Oh,
up
I
on
remember
campus.
that.
Yeah. It was, I mean, for our age, it was a pretty good job. Like,
Well, yeah, definitely. That's kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, I am known for that. I'm a person who like, I just want to do what I want to do. Like,
so I have a question, and maybe we can cut it,
Okay.
or maybe not.
keep it in, dude.
What's your worst quitting story that you want to talk about?
Worst quitting. I mean, most of the time,
Or is that pretty much it? Like, I just
if I
nah.
quit, like that's it. Like I'll just
Okay.
leave. Like if they piss me off enough, I'll just leave.
Okay.
Like it's genuinely what I do.
I mean, that's better than like blowing up.
Well, because
I
I'm always
mean-
thinking about, okay, if I go back, it's going to get worse. Because I'm very passive aggressive sometimes. I'll give signs that I hate you, or that I hate the job.
He won't tell you that he's quit his job, but there'll be signs.
Yeah. Like there's been jobs I've worked where, okay, another example. I don't want to name. Well, I don't care if I name drop,
Do a different name or a fake name.
but I want you to know. Okay, I
Do
worked
it twice. Tell the real name and then tell the fake name.
I'll just tell you guys the name and we'll cut it out or
Okay.
bleep it.
Yeah.
Wait, we
Beep,
can bleep
redacted.
stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the forklift story.
No, me quitting story.
Oh, I remember the story about you chucking the water bottle at the guy.
That was Estes.
Oh, was
Okay,
it?
I don't
Yeah,
remember
that
the
was
water
years
bottle
ago.
story, so I want to hear both.
Okay.
In chronological order, though.
Well, then Estes story would be first.
I thought that was
Either
so
way.
Fidel that happened.
Mm-mm.
Tell it the way you want to tell it, but I want to hear both stories.
I'll do the water bottle one after this one.
Okay.
Because the software one's short. It's just an example of like, okay, I was a lead. I voiced issues that I had. Like I called a meeting because there was an issue of you're a lead and it was a new position. You're a lead, but you're treated as a supervisor, but don't get the supervisor perks.
Yep.
And I was like, is this a thing? Like, are we gonna do this? Is this? I don't remember exactly what I said. So a couple weeks go by. Basically, it's that it is going to be that way. I wanted to know, like, is this going to change? Do we have goals? Are we going to try to eventually make
What's the
this
direction?
something else than just this?
Right.
So a couple weeks go by. I do another meeting, and I was like, basically said, listen, I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm not interested in being a lead anymore. So I stepped down, which was good. They were happy about it. They're like, nice, thanks.
Yeah.
So then we have to decide now where I'm going to go within the plant. There's 4 warehouses. I wanted to go back to F because that was the boss I like, who I still talk to today. I said the one I don't want to go to is what's called Warehouse A, because when they don't have trucks to unload or rail cars to unload, they do nothing. You sit. And it's 12 hours swing shift.
Ooh.
I'm like, I can't do that. So I was like, just, A is the one I don't want to go to.
3 other options.
Correct.
Even if it wasn't your favorite, you had 2 in the middle, kind of. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Guess which one I was put in?
A.
Warehouse A. So, Brandon, that's me. Okay. And I felt bad for the supervisor. I didn't necessarily dislike the guy who I was going to be working under, but unfortunately he had to receive angry, cynical Brandon. So you have to do these forklift checks all the time, which is fine. It's
like
normal.
daily or
Yeah,
something.
you check your gear or whatever. That's very normal. It's not the first time I've done this.
Yep.
I decided to be sarcastic. I'm one of them. I put trash. I put garbage. I drew a picture of a trash can and then an arrow and said this forklift. It was a joke, but it was also very passive aggressive. So of course there had to be a meeting about it, which was, our guy.
Okay.
And I don't want to get into him. Well, maybe a knife. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I don't want to kill him. Never mind. I'm making it worse by explaining it more.
There's no murders, no stabbing.
But we had to have this, conversation, and I was fine with it. But my point of view is that even though I knew it was wrong, I was between he and I was like, this was funny, right? Anyway, so it got
off the record, you laughed, right?
Yeah. So anyway,
you're not my boss right now.
He didn't. They didn't reciprocate. There was no
Okay.
reciprocation of that.
Gotcha.
But they took it a lot more serious than they should have, which then now what was a joke was starting to make me angry in the conversation, because there were key points of hypocrisy in what he was saying to me, of things I knew that he did. He talked about professionalism. He called my boss I liked fat in front of me and all the other employees multiple times. They've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
That's fine. But that's unprofessional. Anyway, so it was at that moment I went home that day. It was a weekend. Not coming back. Nah.
I mean, you finished the shift though, right? That's a step up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did finish the shift.
Yeah, so
because
next time you'll give a 2 weeks
wasn't
notice, or maybe a
until-
2-day notice.
It wasn't until the end of the day in that meeting that I decided, not coming back. I'm good. But who knows where it would have went.
You're making steps though.
I know, slowly. Dude, they're little
Right.
small
Your next
baby
one, you'll
steps.
give a 1-week notice.
And then I think after that I worked in a construction company, and I got into an argument with the guy. Well, he was a maniac.
The one.
Jeremy.
Oh.
Absolute freaking. Well, there was other. Anyway, I don't want to get into all that. Okay. Yeah. He
Beepity
maniac, dude. Just cussing me out on the phone,
Oh.
and then me saying, "Well, I don't want to get into that one. It's too long. We'll save it for another time. It's a really good story." But anyway,
Write that
let's
one
go to the Estes one
Yeah, the water bottle.
with the water bottle one. I'm talking so much. You guys are just listening. Hope you guys are having a good time. I have a lot of stories apparently.
Yes.
We all do.
Well, next I want to hear a Trey quitting story.
You
Or
don't have
or-
one though.
Okay, maybe not a quitting story. like you did something wrong at work and you knew it, but you knew you did it. Like you chose to do
He does have
something wrong.
he has funny work stories too. Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
so this is
Water
Brandon's
bottle.
last water bottle story, and then we can hear somebody else talk.
It was metal, right?
What?
It was like
No, it was. Oh, I wish it was metal, dude.
I thought. Okay.
Wait, hold on. No spoilers. Let's start from the top.
Well, I just don't want. I want people to picture the right water bottle. You know. What I'm
No,
saying?
it was a squishy water bottle, like a
Okay.
plastic one.
Okay.
So the scenario is, once again, I've worked a lot of forklift jobs. Okay, I was a loader. Now, even though you're not supposed to have your own forklift, my supervisor saved me a forklift every day. Even though you're not supposed to have one company policy, my supervisor's doing it. Because a lot of the forklifts were garbage, and I was a loader. I didn't want one that was going to overheat. I didn't want one where the hydraulics weren't going to work right. I want to be able to do my job because it's fast-paced.
Right.
You have to
need
keep
it.
going. Yeah. If you want a good forklift, become a loader. I get to work, and there's a guy on my forklift. Okay? Wait, he's heard this story. Why am I waiting for him? There's a guy on my... Me? There's a guy on my forklift, okay? Now you may think, yeah, just get another forklift. Well, I hated this job for one. Which almost every job I've worked besides the one I'm working now and when I started working construction I've hated. At one point in time, eventually. So I don't exactly remember how everything goes, but I do remember me coming up to him, not rude at first. Because that's not how you like
The guy on your lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
His name was Chris. Okay, hold on though. Let's
Making
give
this so hard on Spencer right now.
let's
I have to listen
so
really
many
closely.
blanks.
a little bit of backstory of this guy, just so that I don't seem like a complete villain. This guy is a guy who will come up to you, ask you for a couple dollars, and never pay you back, and continue to ask you for a couple dollars and never pay you back.
I said I'm sorry.
He will continue. Spencer. He's a guy who would always do this, and everyone was starting to really complain about it. They're really tired of it. He'd bum cigarettes off people. He never paid anyone back for anything.
It's a moocher.
Correct. So anyway, he's on my forklift. So I already don't like the guy. Okay, on my forklift,
Brewing.
and I'm like, I say something along the lines of, "Hey, what you know on my forklift?" Kind of like, ha ha ha, and he blows me off. So this guy's already the garbage guy's already having a bad day.
Like cold shoulder kind of thing.
I think he mumbled something and then drove off.
Oh.
So I walked and followed him, and continued to say, "Okay,
Escalation number one.
right." I said, "Get off my forklift." And he, mumbled something else along the lines of like "no" or "f off" or whatever. So I follow. I'm walking.
Escalation
I'm
number
following
two.
him. He has to stop. Each time he stops, I am coming up to him, and it escalates more. And I'm like, "Get off of my forklift!" And then this time he says something to me, so I get up on the forklift and try to yank him off. Kind of hard to do.
Escalation number 3.
Kind of hard to do considering he's buckled in.
Really dangerous too.
Well, he's not moving now.
But he could at any moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But anyway, I try to pull him off, and I yank as hard as I can, but he's buckled in, so he's not going anywhere.
Just like
Yeah. Well, he's yelling that I'm crazy, which yes, obviously I am. Okay. So then I slip, and he starts driving away, and I have this water bottle, and I throw it. Yep.
I picture like someone on like a hover round trying to get away from someone chasing them.
Dude, and I threw this water bottle as hard as I could, and hit my mark, dead in the head.
Nice.
And it
Final
was a
escalation
satisfying
number 4.
boom, and he just, oh, you know what I mean? And I'm walking the moment I
Are you
throw
still
it.
following him?
Oh, the moment I throw it, I continue moving forward.
Okay. Number 5.
It's like I'm like, yeah, okay. And by this point, I'm yelling, "Get the F off the forklift, you!" And I'm yelling. I'm getting louder and louder.
Number
And he's
6.
driving away, calling me a maniac, calling me crazy. So the supervisor finally comes in, and she's like, yells, "Hey!" Tries to see what's going on. She's yelling at him, by the way, not me. And this isn't the supervisor that saves the forklift for me. This is another supervisor. She yells at him. Anyway, 2 weeks later, this guy gets fired.
And you didn't.
No. I didn't get wrote up or anything.
That's
Nice.
impressive.
That is impressive.
Because the guy was garbage.
Most places would fire you.
And they were
Right.
waiting for someone to blow up on this guy.
Finally.
I like that.
Like, I guess he's the one who'll do it.
So yeah, I mean, your escalation's paid off.
Yeah, dude. I didn't try to de-escalate at all.
Literally.
No.
Followed.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you're not getting away.
He's the escalator.
Follow him to the back
Oh.
corner of the warehouse.
Guess who got his forklift, by the way? Me. They had him get off
Yeah?
and get one of the garbage ones.
Nice.
So what did we learn, kids? It pays to throw water bottles at people.
Yeah, exactly.
And yank
PSA.
them off of their
And try to, like, pull them off of their
buckled in
buckle. At
4,000
least he had a
pound
seatbelt
equipment.
on, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
they were yelling at
yeah.
people for that.
Just the image of him driving.
I
away.
know.
This guy's crazy.
It's like 2 miles an hour, like, stop! Like,
following me.
can't go anywhere.
Oh, so funny, dude.
That's my favorite part. I like that.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
All right. Let's hear a bad Trey work story.
I just want to say, I'm horrible in those situations because if something like that was happening and I was the manager, I would be laughing
It's a good thing you didn't say that
until
in
I
the
had
interview.
to like talk to them. And
Right.
be
Right.
serious.
Yeah.
I'd be like watching it and laughing the whole time.
Like trying to sneak the phone in.
Hey.
Oh man.
Oh, no sneaking. Just,
I don't
hey,
know.
turn around.
I don't know if I've ever done anything personally.
Okay, if you haven't, I know a story about you that's in the same vein.
Oh really? I mean,
Not work.
I have work stories, but I don't know if they're like that. They're not like.
I know a guy that had a hit and run accident when he was a
Oh
teenager.
man.
Still
Not
under,
gonna, I'm not going to name names.
still under investigation,
But,
actually.
Yeah, 10 years.
Never prosecuted, so.
Nothing ever came of it. I heard that she didn't have any brake lights, and by the time it was realized that she didn't have brake lights, the accident had already happened.
Yeah.
It was too late
Yeah.
because they hit the brakes
Yeah.
hard.
Were you
In the little maroon Camry,
were you
4-door Camry.
like on the sidewalk or something?
That's all the whole thing.
Well, I heard it in
That was the time that you were interviewing people.
like
about-
telephone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought maybe you were interviewing people at that time. I know that you were going up to people
Taking
asking them.
statements.
Yeah, what happened?
True.
Because your dad, was
Right.
a police officer, and you were like, I'm gonna be one. So you're like, excuse me, mister.
What happened here?
Why'd you do that?
Push him still on those welders of pancakes, Mr. Satan.
But she had. It was like one of those really old, big like RV vans. So just like 100% steel.
Oh, yeah.
So when it happened, there was no visible damage to her car, but there was visible damage to the other car. Well, the person driving the car didn't realize there was damage and thought everything was fine. So I can't remember because they were on their way home. Dang it! They were whatever. I was on my way home from. I was taking vocal lessons at the time, so I was on my way home from a singing lesson, and it was the day of my graduation party. So, it happened, and I'm pretty sure it happened. It was like right before where Buckeye Steel used to be. I think there's like a junkyard over there or something. I can't remember, or there was some kind of thing, but she turned into there. So I'm thinking maybe she was gonna scrap the car anyways, or she just didn't have insurance. Because there was people behind, like other people saw it. No one followed me, no one like tried to stop me, or anything. I just drove all the way home with nothing keeping
Bumper, headlights.
And I get home, I get out of the car, and I look at the front of the car, and the hood is
Gone.
smashed halfway up the up the thing. I go inside, and I don't even really remember what I said. But Dad's like, what happened? I was like, I ran into a lady, and he's like, did you? He's like, did you tell her anything? Did you stop? I was like, did you call the police? I was like, no, I just drove home. Dad's like, what are you doing? So he immediately goes to the computer and starts filing a police report, for me. And I'm like telling him what road it was on and all this. And I mean, nothing came up of it. Mom was like freaking out because she was trying to get ready for the graduation.
My son's
party
going to
stuff.
jail.
And Mom's like carrying stuff outside by herself, and she's like, I could use some help. And my dad's like, I'm trying to help your son not go to jail. My mom's like, fine, and like slams the door. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what to do. And I was dating a girl at the time, and I went downstairs, and I like, because my bedroom was the room downstairs off the basement at the time. I had a whiteboard in there, and I like punched the whiteboard, and I had a really old like stereo, and when I punched the whiteboard, the bookshelf that was holding the stereo fell off the wall, and then the stereo landed on my foot. So then I punched the whiteboard some more. It's like knuckle dents and then I like punched my door and like shredded my door. It was a horrible day.
Nice.
And I was like freaking out my whole graduation party that the police were gonna show up and take me to jail or something.
What a graduation
What'd the
party,
girlfriend
but-
say?
I literally like sat her down and I was like, hey.
I might be away for a while.
I was on the way home from my singing lessons, and I rear-ended somebody, and I drove home after that. So I was like, it's basically a hit and run, and I'm 18, so I could go to jail. And she just like put the presents down, and she's like, oh, okay.
You should have been like,
She just kind of went like, that'll be okay.
she's like, I'm gonna be doing some hard time.
Was it who I think it was?
Starts with a P.
Penis.
Oh.
That does start with a P.
I got you.
Yeah.
It does start with a P.
Innis.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good story.
I like it.
You gotta have some. You probably haven't done like.
Oh, not that I'll tell you.
Oh. Fair enough.
So there was this one. I was working at a local small college in the summer, like doing like groundskeeping, mowing, painting, and stuff in the dorms. And I don't know if I was really tired or what, but I fell asleep upstairs in one of the dorms painting, like on one of the dorm beds. Well, the guys I was working with decided to put a chair on top of me, like around me as I was asleep, and another one on top of that. So when I got up, I knocked both these chairs over. I didn't know what happened. I just thought like I bumped into them or something. Like I don't remember the waking up portion. I go downstairs and they're like, yeah, we heard a noise. I was like, yeah, I think I knocked a chair over. Like made no big deal about it. And they knew that they put it there because I was asleep. And then like the next week, my boss told me a story about how when he did the same exact job at the same exact college, he almost got fired for falling asleep while working.
Whoa. Jeez, did you just like stay up late all the time or something?
I have no clue.
Or you just slept bad? I don't know.
It's a
I was
teenage sleeper,
probably
man.
just really lazy, honestly. I was pretty lazy younger.
Yeah.
I did a burnout at high school one time, and the ag teacher ripped me a new one. And then I went to go, like, to get in trouble or whatever. And he's like, come back. And I didn't get in trouble.
Nice.
I remember racing you.
Yeah, oh, dude. That was, like, my tamer days.
That was still super dangerous.
That was dangerous.
Considering.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell that story. I'll tell a different
Go ahead.
story, and then I'll tell that one. So, I've always liked fast cars and stuff. I've never had one until, even now I don't have a crazy fast car. But in high school, my first vehicle was an S10 with a V6, pretty big V6. Not a fast car by today's standards, but, it was pretty quick for what it was, right? And there's a bunch of kids that I went to school with that lived down towards another little town, Laurelville, whatever. And I'd, like, mess with them and race them and stuff. And this one kid had an S10 also, same engine, whatever, but a short bed. And we were going through these, like, curvy roads, Tarleton Road. I don't know if you probably don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you freaking live right here. Anyway, he doesn't live on Tarleton Road.
He lives on beep.
Redacted. So we're going like 70, and I want to pass this kid just because I want to freaking pass him because that's what I do because I'm stupid. So I like floor it, and he's like not letting me around. So we're like doing the NASCAR thing where it's like, shimmying back and forth. I mean, like blind curves, no clue what's coming. So finally, I don't know, I juked him out or whatever, but I floor it going around him on a blind curve, and got in front of him, and he was pissed. I went to get gas, and he like pulled up behind me, like blocked my truck in. He's like, "What you doing?" I was like, "I'm getting gas. What you doing?" He was a little kid too. He probably might have messed me up. I don't know, but he was a little kid, and I was a bigger kid.
It was snapped him in half.
Yeah, I'm modest, but he like wanted to fight me because I beat him or raced him or whatever. Yeah,
You hurt his pride.
that was good stuff.
You beat me.
And then one time Brandon and I were driving home from later in high school, and we raced on a major highway.
Yeah, I was driving a Dodge Caravan. It was red. 1999.
I was in the same truck.
Yep. And it was pretty. I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember almost running someone off the road or something like that.
I think you thought you were ahead of me more,
Oh yeah.
so you went to get in front of me, and I was like right at you.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
I just was going for it. I think that's what it was.
He'll
I was
move
like,
for me.
I was like, I guess
This
this
it.
is where we die.
This is the end.
I've always been crazy.
Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite of driving now. I drive really slow now.
I know.
I don't know why. Oh, I mean, I do know why. Perfect record. But
I broke my perfect record at 16. Like a couple weeks after I turned 16.
that's so crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So if you want your kids to not get tickets, just have them drive when they're 18 instead of when they're 16.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for driver's ed.
Yeah, I know a guy that missed a turn and drove into a fence and a sign and a tree on his way to work one morning. I don't remember his name, but
Oh, was that me?
no,
Was that the one where I fell asleep
I think so.
Yeah.
It was. I'm surprised you didn't get messed up.
and went 60 miles an hour into a guardrail?
Yeah.
I mean, I woke up with my foot on the brake.
I remember that.
I went to work after that, by the way.
I was when I was going to work, because I went to work a little bit after you.
Yeah.
I saw them replacing the sign,
Yeah.
and I saw like the guardrail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was a
That's
good
crazy.
car, too, man.
Which one was that?
That was the Nissan Sentra.
Yeah, that was a good car.
It was a good car.
I remember that car.
My Camry that I bought off of his father got totaled, too. That was also a great car.
Oh, how did you do that?
The 97 Camry? Okay. There's a road. I don't want to say the road names. Beep. Yeah. So I was turning left on a road that has northbound and southbound traffic, and it was getting close to, like,
Peak, like rush hour.
yeah. Well, not quite. It was very
It
busy.
was busy. Yeah.
I needed to go left to go south. Northbound traffic. I'd have to cross northbound traffic to get on southbound traffic. To my left was a bunch of cars that parked, so I couldn't see. I genuinely couldn't. So instead of like being patient and like waiting, I waited for a while. But I don't actually know what I should. I know I shouldn't have done what I did, which is I just went for it.
YOLO.
Well, it was an old car. I floored it. Old cars, when you floor them, don't do much.
Takes a while to catch.
Yeah. So I wasn't able to build enough speed, and this like SUV car comes and just T-bones me and destroys the side of the vehicle, and I didn't get injured again. And I'm just like, I'm just like trying to like get my bearings, see if the car still moves, and it still did. You're not supposed to move it, but I'm in the middle of the road.
Right.
I moved it. I'm like, I'm not gonna make this a whole thing. So it like limped, to where it needed to go. So then I put it in park, and I try to open the driver's door. Won't open. Slight panic at that moment. But then I was like, oh, yeah, I have another door. So I went out the other side. And I immediately went to go see if the other person was okay. And it was this black lady. And actually, okay, I skipped a step. I'm in the car figuring out how to get out. There's another lady walking towards me. What she was doing was, and it was smart, she probably
better
thought I was going to, like,
dip
try
out.
to leave.
Oh, okay.
So she came and was, like, taking pictures of the car. Well, I saw her. I passed her. By the way, this lady, very attractive. She's a black lady, light-skinned black lady, very pretty. She's apparently the mother to the lady in the car.
Oh.
Which, by the way, they looked reverse ages here.
Oh.
The girl who was the daughter looked older than the mother.
Unique.
It may have been her name.
no.
So anyway, anyway,
That's staying.
so I go over there and the girl is like, I don't care if it stays, genuinely. The girl's like freaking out, like she's like having like a little panic attack. She hit her head. I don't know how I didn't hit my head. Maybe she drives like this. I'm sorry. No, I was in the wrong. Anyway, call the squad. She didn't want to get in because it was like COVID time, so she didn't want to go to the hospital. So it was fine. Fun fact. I'm notorious for not driving with insurance.
Oh no.
While we're waiting for the squad to get there, I reinstated my insurance.
Dang, that's some good thinking, dude. All right, so me and my wife and our new little puppy, like 3-month-old little puppy, were driving on a fairly traveled road, right? It's like a 55-mile-an-hour road, nothing crazy. And we're going north, and I see the Subaru coming towards the south, kind of getting a little swervy, a little swayy. Out of nowhere, dude goes off the road a little bit, overcorrects, flies back into our lane, and we're not that far away, hits a power line, snaps that in half, rolls his car into the ditch, facing up out of the ditch. So I, immediately yell at my wife, call 911. She's like freaking out. Like, she doesn't handle that stuff very well at all. I didn't say that.
On the record.
So she's like, talking to 911. I pull up, park, get out of the car, start running towards him. His window is busted out. He's laying doubled over sideways in his passenger seat. I see a little bit of blood, nothing crazy. And I'm like yelling, like, hey, you okay? Get up, you're good, whatever. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, hey, tell me you're not dead or something.
Yeah.
And he starts kind of like coming to and whatever. I was like, hey, hold on, just chill. Ambulance will be here soon. Don't move too much, whatever. And he kind of like re-situates himself, sits in the driver's seat, and he's like, thanks, buddy, thanks. It's like, yeah, just don't worry. Flies out of the ditch, like could have hit me, like legit could have hit me. Not over, being dramatic. Flies out of the ditch. Car's smoking like crazy. He's got flat tires. He's going down the road. So I get like, it pissed me off instantly. I was like, you freaking, I got so mad. So I ran back to our vehicle, got in, followed him because there's a giant smoke cloud behind him.
Not hard to miss him.
No, he's freaking like leaking oil everywhere. He's got flat tires. He's got smoke, and he's like, barely keeping on the road. Passing cars, could have hit any of them. She's still on the phone with like 911, telling him like, hey, he just took off again, whatever. Dude's drunk, whatever. He hits a mailbox on the right side of the road, goes down the ditch, flips his SUV upside down in some like random dude's yard, right? Flips it upside down. A lot more blood, a lot more cuts and scrapes and stuff. Never had a seatbelt on, just freaking ragdolled around. Insane. So I'm like racing to catch up to this dude because I'm pissed. I want him to get caught and I want him to be freaking charged, whatever.
Right.
So I pull into the driveway of the house that he just flipped his car into their yard, and there's a shirtless dude mowing the next house over. She's like, what's going on? So I get out of the vehicle. She's still talking, and I'm not approaching him like, dude, you did what you did. I'm not getting near you, whatever. I don't know if you got a gun or something. I'm not messing with you. Dude gets out. He's like looking through his car. He's looking for something. Like, I don't know what he's looking for. Like ID. He had a cooler. I don't know if it was like a lunchbox or had beer back there or something. Looking for something. Couldn't find it. And I see him just kind of rummaging through this car, trying to open the doors. Obviously, he can't. They're all freaked up. All the windows are bashed in. Mm-hmm. His car's upside down. Mm. And the neighbor dude on the mower rolls by. And I was like, hey. And I kind of did one of these, like, hey, he's drunk, just a heads up. And he goes and talks to him. And the guy sits down by the mower or whatever. And then he gets up and he's like, he's going to walk home. Because I guess he lived right up the road in a trailer park. So he asks the guy in the mower for a ride. He's like, dude, I'm in a mower. I can't ride you anywhere. I can't give you a ride. And he comes to me. He's like, hey, can I get a ride? I'm like, no, can't do that.
Give you the ride of your life with my fist.
Right.
Yeah.
So he starts walking down this busy road. I hear sirens coming. I see the lights, like, fire truck, squad, cop cars, whatever. They all start showing up.
It's him.
Right. So I'm like, kind of just like pointing him down that way. He didn't get that far. Like, he was an old dude. He was drunk. He was just in 2 wrecks. He didn't get that far. But yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Jeez.
When I was in high school and I lived on just up the road here, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. A kid I went to school with, they were high, and maybe drunk, I don't know, but I know for a fact they were high because they threw their drugs in my neighbor's yard. But they were high, ran across this busy hill intersection, and got slammed by this truck and trailer. Spun their I think they had like a Blazer or something, spun their vehicle around, ended up upside down. One kid got hurt pretty bad.
Jeez.
It's crazy. That's all I got.
Those are better stories than that. What I got.
I remember, I can't remember how old I was. And I don't think Keegan was born yet. But it was me and Drew and Mom and Dad in the car. And we were driving home late night from something. I can't remember. It might have been like my grandma's house or something. And we had a drunk driver in front of us. And he's doing the swervies. And then he would correct it. And then all of a sudden he just slams into the concrete medium. And Dad's like, holy crap, what just happened? And then Dad follows him for a little bit longer. And then bam, he slams into it again. And so Dad gets on the phone. He starts calling everybody he knows. They get the chopper on him. Dad follows him all the way to this like convenience store.
Yeah.
And there's like 6 cops there, and they pull him out and throw him on the like little concrete guards in the parking spaces.
Mhm.
And they're just like interrogating. That's all I remember of it. But yeah, he would just smack into the concrete medium and then just correct it and keep driving like nothing happened.
Wham! He's probably nodding off.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think that's what this guy did. That's freaking crazy, dude.
You should get your dad on here sometime. Tell him.
Oh, dude.
He's got some stories. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Got some good ones.
Yeah.
We can make fun of him for his knee. I'm just kidding.
You can tell the story about why he needs the knee replacement.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of good stories. But that's
Crazy, dude.
that's a good first episode, I think. I've got a lot more stories in the tank.
I don't. I blew it all.
And yeah, that's all he's got. So he's actually gonna be leaving.
Right. I'm just the tech guy.
We
Sorry.
can bring the next Spencer in. It's just like another version of you, just in different clothes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got the rest of the stories.
Tell the whole story again. The exact same stories.
I got some van life stuff. If you didn't pick up, I do live in a van, in my van.
Not down by the river.
If there was power there, I'd live by the river. One thing I can say that is very interesting is I like that I have a high tolerance for cold. Like, I'm more comfortable when it's cold around me and I'm like encasing myself in warmth than if it's warm around me and I just have to be hot.
They say that's how you should sleep anyways.
And I have a heater now. I bought one from a store called Rural King. Okay?
World Star.
World Star. Even in my age, like how old I am, I've noticed the decline in quality of things versus price point.
Yeah.
This heater I bought, $100. It's like one of those infrared heaters.
Uh-huh.
When you hold it, it feels like a toy.
Yeah.
Like it's plastic, and it's like really light. I could lift it like this and pick it up. Like it's super light. Works great though. Really hot. Like I have to turn it away from me a lot of the times, even in temperatures like tonight. Now I'll still like when I go to sleep, I'll probably sleep with the hoodie on and these like kind of sweaty pants.
Like
and
Ron
then
Jones?
No, they're actual pants. But then I'll cover up. I got a few blankets. I got a whole system, which I would love to talk about. In fact, the last story is, here's my sleep system. It's not really a system, okay? I'll tell you my basic routine. Okay? And then, you know what? I'll tell you my basic routine, and then we'll sign off in some weird, hopefully awkward way. We'll get up and leave. That's how we'll sign off, because we came and sat down. And you'll be okay with it. Cut all that out.
You don't have a choice.
Sorry, I flipped them off.
Okay.
That'll give you a chance to try out some blurring techniques.
Yeah.
Oh, again. Oh, Spencer. You're going to be like, dang it. Trying to like manually keyframe it.
Right.
Anyway, so I go to my mother's, which now when it's cold I don't need to do this, but it's habit now. Go to mom's, talk to my family, whatever, and then I fill up my water, which I don't have over here. I could do a whole spiel on water containers too. Fill up my water, I put ice in it. I like it ice cold, even if it's cold outside. It's more refreshing to me. Then I have this container that I fill with ice, and I still do it. Because like if I have like a soda or something, I like want ice in it. I can't not have it. I don't know why. Anyway, fill those up. Slowly like leave because apparently I can't leave without having to listen to mom talk. Okay, I hope you watch that, Mom. And I know right now you're flipping me off. One time we'll have her, maybe not physically here, but I'll call her sometime. You can listen to her spiciness. Yeah. So I get out into the van, and I park across from my mother's at her neighbor because he runs an extension cord out to me. So I park the van. Oh, also I dump my urine at Mom's. I try to accumulate a gallon and then dump it. Think about that.
It's about 2 days.
Genuinely, I mean, sometimes
That's crazy.
it's almost 2 days. But anyway, you guys don't need to know my urine habits. Or maybe you do. If you're into that, call me up. Never mind.
Only hands.
Oh, man. That's another story. Okay.
$30 a gallon.
I'm drawing this out. I'm getting distracted.
Go ahead, finish it up.
So shut the...
You got your extension cord.
Get the... I park first. Nowadays, since it's colder out, I'll leave the van running. So leave the heat running. Just for this part. Then I'll go around the van, grab the extension cord. I'll put it through the passenger side window that I have cracked up. Then I'll get in the van, I'll plug her in. So that goes to this thing, which is an extension cord that goes to where I sleep. So I can have my phone charger, and then I also have the heater plugged into that. And this is all news to you guys, too. I just realized that. You don't know what I do.
Nope.
Not the details.
Oh, yes. It's so fresh.
Live reaction.
And exciting. It's really not. So after that, the next step is now, since I have a gun, my gun's always in my...
Pants?
Now that I have a pew-pew, I can say gun. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, you can say gun.
No, normally, if I'm not carrying it, it's in my glove compartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to have that with me. So I grab my vape, if it's up there with me, my beard brush, and my gun with my empty magazine. I go in the back to where I sleep, which is... I have two side doors. It would be that side. It's kind of like in the middle. I have a bunch of stuff around me. And I'm laying on a bunch of stuff, and I sleep. That's where I sleep. And then... So I'd be laying like this if I'm watching something, and then I have my tablet. And it's on a toolbox.
Okay.
So it's elevated. So, like, I can go like this, and it's
Right.
like...
Comfort.
As most as it can be.
Van life comfort.
Yeah, so anyway, I put that stuff back there. Then I go back to the front, and I have one of those windshield covers. It's not big enough, which is funny. I put that up, and the whole time the interior lights are on. By this time, I have a tote in the back that is behind my head. I put the heater, because I take the heater off of it when I drive. Wake up.
Sorry.
Take the heater off of it when I drive because I don't want it to fall and break.
Mm-hmm.
I put it up.
Cheap
and then
plastic.
I have this this lamp light, this camping light I put on top of that. I turn that on, and then I go back into the front, turn the van off, turn those lights off, back into the back again, and then I have this divider. It's just like a sheet that I put up, and I have these little clamps. I clamp it up so I'm all closed in.
Got a whole system.
Yeah, and then I do whatever. Watch YouTube. Beep. You know what I mean?
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep, beep. Oh, but the gun's back there with me. I unload it. I'm always afraid that I'm going to wake up and, like, shoot myself. Not because I want to die, but because, like, I'd wake up and, like, be lucid or something and, like...
Just an accident.
Yeah, so I unload it. And then I have my empty mag with me, and I can play with the gun while I'm watching YouTube or Dragon Ball now. Apparently I'm watching Dragon Ball now. So
Beep, beep, beep.
yeah, that's when I'm doing the beep beep.
That's a trigger finger.
Yeah, that's basically the general routine from day to day. And it's pretty comfortable in there for the most part.
I think I'd be much happier van life in the winter than the summer.
Oh, yeah. Summer, it's
sure.
rough. Now, I have an AC unit, so it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But when I didn't, I basically just didn't sleep. I'd sleep as much as I could, but I'd just be like,
Right.
That's when I got a lot of hotels. I haven't bought a hotel. It sounds like an addiction. I haven't.
Hey guys, my name is Brandon.
Yeah, I haven't bought a hotel in months now.
It's good.
Nice.
So
It's more money for fishing gear and
Right.
guns.
or just not wasting on a hotel.
Yes.
I shower at mom's too. I love pooping in my sister's bathroom. It's one of my joys.
That's part of the routine too.
I get home when I get to mom's like first thing after work, and I poop. I wake up in the morning. Mom, I have a key. Go in, poop in her bathroom.
I thought you were gonna say refrigerator. Poop in a refrigerator.
Any chance I get to poop in her bathroom.
Where's all this poop in the food coming from?
So anyway,
Oh,
guys, I think pretty successful.
Yeah.
I think their buns are roasted.
That
Mine
is
are.
true. If it's the staying name, thank you so much for listening and or watching Roasting Buns. Who knows when the next episode will be, because this is the first one. So there has to be a system for that.
First of many.
I would
we
hope
don't know
so.
when, but first
Right.
of many.
There will be more. Maybe not
Yes.
as frequently as we want, but
And we want your ideas. What do you want to hear?
yeah,
What
Yeah.
stories that we don't want to talk about do you want to hear?
right.
I've got a lot.
There's all kinds of things that we could do and play with, including weird verbal games, or we could make out.
On
Again?
the calls, guests.
Yeah, live shows.
Guests would be really fun.
Yeah, specific topics.
Guests would be
Yeah.
cool if it was someone that we didn't know personally, but we knew of.
That'd be really cool.
What if I brought Dan? You guys don't really know Dan that well.
I've only met him a couple times.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what we would talk about, but we'd probably talk about kids.
Uh,
His children. Who cares?
Work ethic.
Yeah. I'd make like 20 jokes about him firing me, and he'd laugh.
Then he'd go to lunch and never come back.
Yeah, I'd ask him, yeah, exactly. I'd ask him, what if I did this? And he'd be like, you'd be fired.
Could have ended on a serious note.
Right. Anyway, bye, guys.
See ya.
Oh, my mic smells
Let us
good.
know.
Next time.
Yeah, tell us what you think. If
Hope
you've
you
watched
liked it.
this far, by the way, you're going to
Phew.
stick around. I
Super
like
fan.
you. You want to make out? All right, let's go.
Bye, Keegan.
yeah.
Bye, Keegan.